had to say that. Hey, Gemara Chatim Olam, what's how you doing, Kinderlach? So they told me also, I got to tell you that when you see a sign that somebody's copying with carrying with words on it, you should read the signs. This is a good lesson for life. You always read the signs, because that way you don't have so many accidents. So I got to tell you the story here. They told me to tell you today, but it's a very good story. About a long, long time ago, that the world had many large and amazing, fabulous creatures. And one of those creatures was a gigantic yellow bird with dark red wings and a purple forehead. And he was called the Ziz. Ziz is failing at time. Well, I gotta tell you, the Ziz was so big, he was humongous. If when he spread out his wings, he blocked out the sun, as if it were a dark rain cloud. And every time he flew over the parents, all the parents would come to their children, call out to their children, come inside quickly before it rains. And we don't want the Ziz to have an accident on your head. Well, you know this made the Ziz sad because everybody ran away from the Ziz, and he loved the children. He didn't want to spoil their playtime, but he wanted to make friends. So the Ziz started flying around at night, and nobody would notice that he made the sky dark with his humongous wings. And that worked for a little while. But then one night, the Ziz flew too high, and he bumped into a star.
Sizzle,
Snap.
Bang!
You can do better than that. I know you got it in you. What's it say there? Rice Krispies.
Sizzle, snap, bang!
Oh, the star then it fell out of the sky and down to earth. And you know what happened? It burned a big hole in the ground. This is a black hole. So the next morning, when the Ziz saw the black hole, was he worried? He said, what can I do now? I made the hole. I got to cover up the hole. He thought about it for a while, and then he came up with a good idea. He stretched out his huge wings and flew back up into the sky. And this time, he knocked down a cloud. And the cloud fell to the ground, and it went...
Plop!
Plop! That's what it did. At least we hope it was the cloud. So the cloud was full of rain. And it filled that big hole with water. The trees need the water. Here, quick, get the water over to the trees. The trees need the water. They gotta have each other. You know, it's kind of like bacon and eggs, but we don't eat bacon like that. I didn't mention food today at all. Yes. So one day, the Ziz, however, makes a mistake he can't fix. And it was the week before Yom Kippur. He's flying along. He's not working on work. He's going. He's thinking about his sports teams, his fantasy football. He flew smack into the pine tree, the tallest pine tree in the world. Splat! And the tree fell over. And it knocked down another tree. And that tree knocked down another tree, and that tree knocked on another tree, and finally the last tree fell on the vegetable garden, which was located immediately adjacent to the synagogue. All the trees are down now, yes? Okay. So, and then he said, what do we say? What's the next sign say? Smash! Squash! Oops. We can do that better.
Smash! Squash! Loose!
I give up!
Oh no! Not the vegetable garden. It belongs to the children.
The Ziz uncovered his eyes and he looked around and such a damage he made. The tomatoes, the corn, the pumpkins, the beans, the gourds, the squash, all the vegetable, all the children in the Bethesda Jewish Congregation religious school worked so hard the plants were smashed to bits.
I can't knock down a cloud and fix this.
So the Ziz decided to fly home and sit in his garden to think. He had watched those children plant that vegetable garden, and every year they harvested those fruits and they decorated their sukkah.
What would the children do this year?
Well, the Ziz spread out his gesunde wings and he flew off to have a little talk with you-know-who, God. The Ziz had a special place where he liked to talk to God. That place was called Mount Sinai. So the Ziz was so big that when he stood on Mount Sinai, his purple feathered hair reached right up into heaven.
Hello, Ziz. What have you done this time?
God is a woman. This wasn't the first time that Ziz had come to Mount Sinai after making a mistake. Oh no.
I knocked over a big tree. It knocked over another tree, and that tree smashed the vegetable garden.
Was it the children's garden?
Yes?
That is a problem.
I can't just knock down a cloud and make this one better.
No, you can't.
What should I do?
I'd like you to do something for me.
Anything.
I want you to search the earth and bring back the hardest word.
The hardest word?
You heard correctly. The hardest word. Now go.
So the Ziz went, and he stretched out his big wings, and he went off to search. He flew over the mountains, he flew over the trees, he flew over the valleys, he flew over the seas.
Flap, flap, I'm the biggest bird. Flap, flap, searching for the hardest word.
So he looked the whole day, and he stopped to rest at the edge of the forest. And in a little house nearby, he heard a father and his child that they was having an argument.
I don't want to go to bed.
You need your rest.
I'm not tired.
Good night.
That's it, the hardest word. I found it.
So the Ziz flew as fast as he could to Mount Sinai. Oh, in this case, the mountain's going to come to the Ziz. We'll wait. Okay, here comes the mountain, and the Ziz and the mountain together, and he put his big bird feet down on top of the mountain, put his purple feathered head up into the heaven, and said,
I found it, the hardest word.
What is it?
It's
Good night.
every child hates that word.
and the Ziz do a dance. He did his happy dance right on top of Mount Sinai because he liked being right.
Good night is a hard word for children.
I knew it.
But there's another word, even harder.
There it is.
Yes, there is. Now go find it.
So the Ziz spread out his mighty gazooka wings, and he went off to look. He flew over the mountains, he flew over the trees, he flew over the valleys, he flew over the seas.
Flap, flap, I'm the biggest bird. Flap, flap, searching for the hardest word.
Well, after searching all day, the Ziz stopped and he saw a big feast on the grounds of a castle. And he listened, because he figured with so many people talking, someone would say the hardest word.
I'm hungry. May I have some biscuit, please?
Oh, you want spaghetti.
That's it, I've got it now.
So he spread out his big wings and he flew back to Mount Sinai. And Mount Sinai was quicker this time. He got there and hurried. And he planted his feet on the mountaintop. He put his purple Ziz head up into the heavens and he said,
I know the hardest word.
Hey, what is it?
It's spaghetti.
well,
Spaghetti.
down on one foot. Because standing still was barely hard, but the Ziz was excited.
Yeah, spaghetti is a hard word to say.
Didn't I tell you?
Yes, but there's another word, even harder.
There it is.
There is. Go out and find it.
So the Ziz stretched out his big wings again and he went to search. He flew over the mountains, he flew over the trees, he flew over the valleys, he flew over the
Seas.
Empire State Building.
Flap, flap, I'm the biggest bird. Flap, flap, still searching for the hardest word.
So the Ziz looked for 3 more days, and he brought back a lot of words to Mount Sinai. Words like pickle, and Bismarck, North Dakota, and rhinoceros, and the Rumpelstiltskin. And each time God sent the Ziz back to find a different word. So by the evening of Yom Kippur, the Ziz he brought maybe 100 words or so to Mount Sinai. God says, no, none of these are right. And himself really bad. He had tried so hard. So he flew back to Sinai one more time to have a little talk with God.
What word did you bring this time?
No word.
No word?
No.